Hello, beautiful Scorpio clan. Uh, I'm taking a deep breath as we navigate April. The energy is intense at this time. There is a lot of change in the air. We can all agree on that, I think, no matter what your perspective. And as I checked through the Scorpio energy, I found something really interesting with you all that's unique, I think, to you in this process. You're working from a very mysterious, watery place, and actually, a lot of the transits that are happening right now are working with you in the natural logic of your Scorpio uh, investigative intuitive energy that is so strong with you. And I think that's really interesting. Saturn has now moved into your fourth house. So he moved in March. We're getting used to it. And the way that I kind of think about when Saturn shifts, it's kind of like getting your sea legs on every time he shifts. And we're only getting that preview taste of Saturn, but right now it's that kind of feeling like figuring out how to work with the logic of that energy, figuring out how to move through it can feel really disorienting at times. For you moving into the fourth house, it's a really secret, hidden space, right? That's your home life, that's your internal, and really figuring out what it is that's going to work for you. Now, that's a longer theme that we'll be coming back to time and again over the next 3 years, so you don't feel rushed with it, but you may be noticing that's starting to come in. But the big things, right, are these. You have Saturn moving into your fourth house. You have Venus moving into your eighth house in Gemini. Now, Venus is going to start her pre-shadow work this month. Also, very soon, the north node of the moon is going to be in Gemini, and that's also your eighth house. So naturally, you all rule the eighth house. And when Venus is in your eighth house of Gemini, it means that we're going to be doing some investigating on the spiritual, on the deeper side, right? We also have a full moon in Libra on April 7th that is in your 12th house, the truly hidden, spiritual, esoteric energy. So we have all this energy moving into air signs, which activate and highlight these hidden parts of yourself. And of course, as we move through the month, we start in Aries, which is a really, it's a energy that helps you check in with your body, check in with your health, check in with your routines, check in with your habits. And then we move into what I love to call mirror season, when all this energy pours into Taurus, your opposing sign. So Taurus season begins, the sun moves in on the 19th. We have a new moon in Taurus on the 22nd. We have a sun and Uranus conjunction on the 25th, and then Mercury enters Taurus. So once we get into mirror season, this is also a time of deep reflection, deep integration. Now, with everything I've just described, this is what's happening. This is a very trippy time for you, where you may be looking for actionable answers outside of yourself at this time. Looking for, let's see what popped out. 2 of Cups. Oh, I love that. While you may be looking for guidance via what actions you can take and how you can move through the world, you're going to be having to rely more and more on your natural innate quality of feeling for it in the deep dive. All these activations of the full moon in Libra, Venus moving into Gemini and starting her pre-shadow before her big retrograde in May and June. 8 of Pentacles, love it. And all this energy moving into Taurus. These are all going to ask you to look for your answers at that deeper guided level. 9 of Swords. That's a popular card right now. It's an energy that is coming up time and again. We get into our thoughts. We get into our repetitive thoughts cycles, and it holds us, and it seems very real. It's a very common energy right now. So the other thing that came up as I just kind of felt through your energy is that Page of Wands. Love it. Innovation, despite the fear and the nerves, is huge right now. The other message that came through for me is that you may feel a lot of nostalgia this month about who you've been in the past and where you've been in the past and what you've experienced in the past. The moon. You may feel like a longing for spaces and modalities that aren't here anymore. And the temptation there will be to let it take you in. Seven of Swords and Five of Wands wanted to pop up here. Little inner battling going on. While the temptation will be to buy into it and let the nostalgia take you with it, this is the really important message that came through for Scorpios. Peel back that initial layer of what that nostalgia, those nostalgic memories, or those longings, those cravings that are coming up. Peel back the surface level of it. What is underneath that? There is your answer. There's something deeper on a spiritual level that's beyond time that is calling you forward. But initially that's going to look like nostalgia. Now that's a message that may not make sense till the end of the month. So, take it in now and see how it plays out for you. 10 of Pentacles. Love it. That's where we're going to stop there with the cards. Sometimes when we're longing for something or looking for something or exploring something, we think that it's really about the thing that we are longing for from our past, or who we've been, or who we wish we could have been, or whatever it is that's coming up for you, right? We think that's the actual thing that we're after, but often what's going on there is there's actually really valuable information about who you're becoming and how you're changing shape. And so if you're able to peel off that initial layer of the initial story of that nostalgia, you'll find something really crisp and clear there. So it's kind of that going inward to go out, going backward to go forward, going through to come out. Those kind of inverse logics that you hear of in spiritual talk a lot are very important for you, Scorpios. And that's what I was saying. Like, this is a trippy kind of wild month, and I know a lot of you already experience life that way, but this month for you specifically has that feeling like you are in a video game or you are in a simulation, and the simulation is very much tied to the hidden and the unseen for you. Okay, so let's talk through these cards because I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. There's a lot of building, grounding energy despite all the other complexities going on, right? We start off right away, Two of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. These are very foundational energies, right? And of course, because all that energy is moving into Taurus, and mirror season begins this month for you, and we start to get that relational energy, this is a time where the work you do on your relationships and how you connect to others is important and will help you navigate some of that trippier, watery energy, because it can get really confusing in there at times, right? And so anybody who is really tied to you, really deeply tied to you, has helped you learn, can actually help you navigate this in a real way. I don't want you to just self-isolate and feel that you have to do your work by yourself. This is definitely a time to allow others who understand you to come in and commune with you and to get deeper with you. This is also a time to plant seeds. Plant seeds of intention, plant seeds of action taking that move you forward into the future. So these are very grounded energies in many ways. They're very much about showing up to the little details of your day and showing up to the conversations and just showing up to yourself. And that's what I mean, when you may have an emotional memory or thought come up, peel it back and see what's in there, because if you unpack it just a little bit, you'll find something that you can actually act on. And so these are very positive energies. I'm loving them. They're very deep. They're very nourishing. Now, here's the thing. Right now, at this time, it is very seductive to get into Nine of Swords mode. It is a modality that we've been taught on a cultural level for a very long time. To worry and then act. To worry and then feel, to worry and fear and then come to a solution, right? Many of us, not everybody, I can't speak for everybody, have been taught that the worry and the fear, shame, guilt are necessary steps in the process. And that if we're not doing this, we are missing a step, right? And I always say too that with fear and worry, there's also something real underneath that, right? There's also a longing for something real underneath that. For you, This has to do with taking innovative steps. Now, Nine of Swords energy is going to come up. It comes up in our lives. Even the most evolved of us are going to have days where we feel we can't trust our intuition. We feel we can't trust ourselves. We feel that we can't trust in how we're perceiving things. It's normal. It's nice to acknowledge it and move forward. But your Nine of Swords is surrounded by innovative, grounded energy, right? Very supportive energy for you. That is all about taking those little actionable steps. And in taking each of those little actionable steps, finding a lot of clarity. I think the more I feel through what's going on here for you, where you may feel like you're about to get sucked into a space where nothing makes sense and answers aren't coming in, answers do come in this month. Answers do come in. But where do they come in from? Page of Wands and the Moon, really interesting combination here, right? Because Page of Wands is the action-oriented page, the creative fire starter, get in there, try it out, see what happens page, right? He does bring action. He does bring clarity. He does bring focus. But that action is coming from the Moon energy, which is that energy that I said is so prevalent for you this month with the full moon, with Venus starting her work in Gemini, with Mercury moving through Aries, though that's not so much, and with all that energy in your 7th house, and with Saturn activating your 4th house as well. Your information, your best plans of action come from Moon energy at this time. And you're going to have to remember to trust that over and over again this month, I think, because there's going to be a temptation here with the 7 of Swords and 5 of Wands to try and take action first. Just make something happen to allay maybe this little voice over here, right? To allay the 9 of Wands or to appease it and say, okay, we're going to start doing something. We're going to get in there. We're going to make something happen. We're going to push it forward. Let's go. And, experiment with that. See what happens when you push yourself and force yourself to write that email or make that phone call or put yourself in a position or jump to a conclusion. See what happens. You'll notice that when you try and take action from that point of view, there is resistance there. And it doesn't feel so good. And you feel a little tired and you feel a little drained and discouraged. And the thing that's going to happen very naturally for you this month is you're going to always get bounced back to that Moon wisdom. And that is going to lead you back to the long, slow, little details, slow building into the future. You started your reading off with the 2 of Cups and you end your reading with the 10 of Pentacles. These are very deliberate energies. These are energies that speak to deep connection, showing up day after day, taking the time to choose wisely, right? You're fixed water. And one of the things that you can think of as a weakness, but I think is more of a strength, is that you take your time to feel fully through things. It has to go all the way down through your system and then come all the way back up and through as an action or as a thought or as a movement. You aren't quick to just fly through an emotion. It takes time for it to percolate and come through. Now, I think sometimes that's frustrating for you because you wish you could move more quickly on that aspect of yourself. However, when I think about you planting seeds, building with intention, and moving from that intuitive knowing space, what you build has value. What you choose to act on has value. And trusting that process a little bit more right now will get you further along than if you try and force a conclusion to come to the surface right away. I'm not saying information won't come in. I think actually a lot of action will be taken. You have quite supportive cards here. Even with that little bit of resistance, right? You have a lot of energy here that is about building. It's about growing. It is about stabilizing. But, you have to lean back in order to move forward. And that really is an important part of the logic at this time. And just keep in mind over the next few months, Venus is going to be in Gemini, and she's going to do a retrograde, and then she's going to have to do she's doing a pre-shadow in April, retrograde in May and June, and then a post-shadow in June and July. So with that 8th house energy being activated with Venus, you're getting a lot of your prompts for love, for connection, for value from your hidden, unseen, taboo 8th house energy. It's not from the obvious sources external to you that validate your identity in this world, or, that give you an influx of resources from some other place. You are going to be getting a lot of Venus wisdom from the hidden and the unseen, from a natural place that you understand with your Scorpio energy. I have some affirmations for you to take with you during this month of new logic coming through, new ways of moving through the world coming through. It's a really big time. So here are the affirmations I have for you. I find my answers when I trust in the deeper knowing. It feels good to find new ways of living life. I trust myself completely and feel ease and rest as I explore. I use my kind, intuitive wisdom to help myself and therefore to help others. If you're looking for opportunities to build relationships, work, place in the world, this is a powerful month for you that can really help you move forward into that. But it really does require you trusting more into your innate wisdom and kindness and softness, really trusting into it, not just like laying into it and saying, okay, well, this is not my favorite, I don't want to have to be here, but really trusting in it divinely and asking for that guidance from that space will help you move forward into beautiful places. So there's some deep reflection going on here. There's some deep building as well, though. And there is something going on with your foundation and tapping into that foundation when it comes to the way you live, to your home life, to your family life, that is getting lit up right now. So pay attention. Pay attention to those little signposts all around. I am doing a lot of extra soothe and ease and messaging right now over on Patreon. I know a lot of you are looking for a place to deal with anxiety, to deal with all the shifts in energy, and that is really where I'm able to offer that extra support for you. So if you want a place to come, land, hang out with me, every week I have new videos, new astrology discussions for the weekly shifts going on, worksheets. I'm hopefully going to be starting to do some more lives over there as well, so you can sit with me and we can have an interaction. So if you want all of that, it's all inclusive. Once you're in, you get everything that I offer. So I would love to see you over there. Thank you to those of you who have joined me. I do have one-on-one sessions available in late April and also in May. So if you're looking to work one-on-one with me, I would love to create space for you and hear what's coming up for you and help you tap in to your inner guidance system. So I'll leave the link for that below as well. So all the information will be there. You can find me on Instagram at SarahVerba as well. And of course, PinkLune's lovely jewelry that I wear every day and soothes and grounds me. If you're looking for something like that, she makes beautiful love-filled pieces. I will leave her link below as well. I love you all so much, and I am here for this ride with you. I am here with you 100%. Have no fear. I will be with you. So I'm sending you so much love, and I will talk to you very soon.